Well, how's everyone doing tonight? This field is weedy. I understand that. I haven't been able to spray it because the field's been too wet. We're still out planting corn out here in South Dakota for everyone who don't know. Hello, sevens. It's going pretty good, Cole. Still planting around water holes. You guys are gonna see a water hole here briefly. I'm getting ready to plant the end rows on this field. I'm gonna turn the camera around once I get turned around. I get my GPS set up to drive the end rows. That driving shit's for the birds. And I hit start. So I record my swath. And we just cruise. Yeah, hopefully we can get spraying here the next few days. We're actually supposed to get a bunch of rain tonight, so we'll see how that works out for us. And you can see right there, it's recording that new line right there. Been in a lot of sketchy fields here the last few days, trying to get as much planted as we can. Actually, this is one whole field, but I came up the center of it because I'm cutting it in half because this side's too wet right now, well, especially for in the dark. A whole different term for planting green, I guess. I've actually hired some spraying done, and they're busy and can't get out here, and it's been wet, so they're behind as well. It's like everybody in this little localized area, everyone's struggling pretty bad to get stuff done. Hopefully we can start cutting hay this weekend or next week, but got a lot of crops to go on the ground yet. Very shortly there's a lake coming up, but so my fuel gauge, it quit about a week ago, and it just kind of been staying at full until about a half a tank, and then all of a sudden tonight started work again. Don't know if it's right, but started work again. Hey TNT. Oh, it's always so far so good. I left some really big tracks in places today. There's a big water hole right there, just out of the headlights. I gotta turn around. There's a fence coming up at that REA post. All right, I'm gonna hit stop. Stopped recording my line. I want to switch it. I'm going to turn the corner, which I know is a bad juju, but there's my lake, guys. I got to plan up to it and stop. There's one of them. I gotta turn around and go back. Earlier today, I'm glad I had this big ass tractor on here because we got in a bad situation similar to that, but we couldn't turn around. We had nowhere to go. It was light and it didn't look wet. but it was wet, and the ground looked dry on top, but it wasn't dry. There's my tracks, and we fell through, and my full tank, I could barely see the tires, so we're lucky we had a horse on the front. I haven't been reading comments while I'm turning around, so I'll get back to that as soon as I get going again. Well, there's my line, my red line. It changes so the screen's a little bit bigger. We got the tractor steering. We got the monitor, making sure all the things are doing what they're doing. The rows are planting. That thing beeps at me when it quits. Good morning. I gotta go back and catch up on the comments. I've only got, this field I'm in is 70 acres, but only about 40 of it's dry enough to do. And I got about 120 for my landlord yet that he farms himself. I just custom farm it for him. Are you still planting corn, Corey? We're planting corn and beans right now at the moment. No tile out here. Our ground just don't work. Normally we're actually too dry. This is a very seldom problem that we're this wet for this long. We'll have short periods where we're too wet, but we just generally aren't this wet. The whole month of May we've been wet. There's this little spot, about the size of one county, that every time there's a chance of rain we get it. But you know, I'm not even going to complain about the rain too much, because last year we were in a drought, didn't get rain for either 7 or 8 or 9 weeks or something. It was terrible. And I'll deal with planting around mud holes if I don't got to watch my corn burn up that I worked hard to get in the ground. So what are you doing, Illinois sand farmer? Shouldn't you be out farming or something? Yeah, this tractor's got a lot of ponies. I didn't realize how little my other tractor was until I got this one. This tractor is pretty awesome. I really like it. Got some quirks that I don't necessarily care for, but what happens when you buy used stuff and you can't afford new. So I'm done with my end row, so I gotta switch my screen. Then I gotta go do which line I want. Hit a list. And then those are the 3 lines I've got, and I'm going to go back to that one. That's my one going back and forth, and the lines will show back up going that way. I'm sure this is very similar to a John Deere auto steer system. I mean, different, but the same. Different boxes to check and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure it's all very similar. Shows the acres down here. Actually, this thing shows a lot of different stuff. That's all a bunch of garbage. Hauling corn? Man, that must be rough, hauling corn in the summertime. Here we getting back to my line, so I'm slowing down to get back on where I'm heading. And then once I put the planter down, it starts painting. There we go, the planter hit the ground, it started painting. No, I don't think it'll pull the hitch off again. It just broke. Yeah, late night shenanigans. A Farming 4G. There's the transmission temp right there. I can scroll through my stuff. I'm sure your tractor, I'd be surprised if it ain't the same. But yeah, I just can change it. That's all on that screen. Then up and down arrow. Get back to what I need it to, what I want it to. There we go. Really? I thought they were all international, and the New Hollands were about the same through that generation. So 2009 is the year on this tractor. But hopefully we can get some planting done here tonight. Planted till about 1:30, I think, last night or so. I quit. This field's definitely not ideal conditions yet, but that's why I started where I started. I'm in the driest spot. Hopefully my full tank's a little emptier when I get to the wetter end. Yeah, I'm just running WAS. You got really good signal for WAS right here. Now, I guess it is a little bit older then. I think this was about the last year without DEF on this tractor. There's absolutely no DEF on this thing, which I like. Earlier I was in a wetter field and it was burning 12 or 13 gallon an hour. Be nice when we can find a little bit better field to drive in. I am almost done. I've got a lot less now than when I started. I've got 70 acres in this field, but only 30 or 45 or so is dry enough. And then I've got 100 and something for my landlord custom work yet to do. Full of what? Illinois sand farmer. Fertilizer, I can only plant 30 acres. Putting 30 gallons down, I got a 1,000 gallon tank. So I guess 33 acres, but I always stop at about 30. Yeah, I have reached 100% engine power. Generally on the road. Going up hills on the road or big hills out in the field. Seed, my hoppers are supposed to be like 15 bushel, so just depending on the seed size, you know, you can plant, you know, anywhere from 30 bags, you know, in the hoppers together, all the way to sometimes 40. Just depends on the side of the seed. What do you mean by that? Sours? And then it's telling me I'm getting close to the end of the field in case I'm taking a nap. Well, that's good. Someone's got to be a smart ass. There's always room in my streams for a smart ass. I kind of liked entertainment. I actually kind of enjoyed your stream last night. I was planting, I couldn't comment much. It's kind of hard to keep track of comments and whatnot and try to type and see it on my phone and do what I was doing, but it was pretty funny. I had a good time. Made my night go by faster. What do you guys want to watch, over the hood? Or do you guys want to watch back here? Oh man, my mount's in the wrong spot. I wonder if it'll let me flip it. Nope. I haven't ran the new baler yet. I've actually got a job I'm going to try to maybe start on next week sometime, but we'll see. I'm hoping to cut some hay this weekend if the weather holds and we get the drilling and the planting done, or at least some of it. The old tractor right now is on the drill and it's been drilling, so we're going to unhook that as soon as we're done drilling what we need to drill. Then I'm going to hook my tractor, as soon as I'm done planting, I guess, I'm going to hook the planter, hook this tractor onto the drill, and start haying with my other tractor. Yeah, I've actually been listening to some YouTube stuff when I'm out farming. I got it hooked up to my speakers on my tractor. It's pretty sweet. I watch Sowers Cattle Company, Larson Valley Farms, DLK Hay, Vieser Cattle Company. Probably be a lot easier to name the channels I don't watch. I watch Anderson Cattle Company, Northern Farmer, Soybean Farmer. Yeah, I got unlimited data finally, so I don't gotta worry about it. It's going pretty good, Dave. I don't know. I kind of almost got it stuck the other day. Today, almost once, and then the other day I was actually even worse. I was going up a hill, and I had like 30% slip and 108% engine power. That was sketch. I definitely left that spot in the field. There's a big old circle that I just went around. You know, I kind of don't like it when it automatically connects. I've got my Bluetooth that connects that I just turn on in here, but it pisses me off when I'm out of my tractor loading seed on my headset, and then all of a sudden my dumb Bluetooth in my tractor picks up. It irritates the crap out of me. Yeah, I'm still planting corn, Mark. I've got, just say 150 acres to go yet. This field's 75 acres. I have an unlimited data plan. I'm amazed on this tractor, on the front tires, on how much them duals make a difference for traction. And they are wide. They're 18.4s on the front, 18.4s on the back. I know you listen to music, you blare it most of the time when you on the phone and stuff. You can hear it in the background. I think my slip is off just a little bit. I'm not slipping that much right now. Actually, going down the road, it shows about 1 or 2% slip, so. For some reason I don't get very many radio stations in this tractor. I don't know if the antennas broke off or it's got a short in it or what. I haven't really investigated, but I listen to a lot of Pandora. When you're Snapchatting there, Illinois, you always have your damn radio blaring. If I can move this to the other side. the wrong button. I'm trying to get so I can turn around. My other tractor has an aftermarket radio in it, Dave. The aftermarket radio is way better than my other one, but I think it's just shitty radios. What model of MX? This is a Magnum 235. Or 335, excuse me. Yeah, hopefully we got a storm out that way coming up. Hopefully we can get most of this field done. At least the dry spots. You guys planted 11 acres with me so far. You know, I think I'm gonna get hail insurance this year. So I don't gotta worry about it. I'll sleep a lot better at night or when there's a storm coming. Yeah, it's definitely a step up. My 7220 was about 200 horse. We've turned the fuel pump up on it, but this tractor's a whole nother animal. This tractor weighs about 10,000 pounds more, about 30. I think it weighs just over 32,000. And about 135 horse more. Oh, I'm sure David's gonna wear more parts, you know, more stress on everything, but it is built for it. The front hubs on this tractor hold either 4 or 5 gallons of oil, I can't remember. They're just ginormous. But, you know, no matter what, you know, if you use a loader bucket, you're obviously going to wear it out more by scooping gravel than picking up hay, but you know, it's part of the game. I haven't been stuck, and those tires out front are why, and the horsepower. I remember when I've got stuck 3 or 4 times this year with my sprayer that no one's seen except people on Instacrap. Tractor never caught fire. It's my baler that caught fire. My combine caught fire. Hopefully we get done planting corn here in the next day or two, and I'm going to switch my corn planter over to beans and plant all my beans down here with the corn planter. We've been working on my dad's beans with my drill, some other beans with the drill. There it shows how many acres an hour we're planting, but that doesn't count turning around or nothing. That's straight planting. This creek coming up is pretty wet, and then there's a little knoll right there that's got a little ridge of wetness, but it's nothing bad. $25,100 seeds are going in the ground per acre. See you later, Cole. The soybean deal, I really prefer my 30s. They seem to get taller here when we're dry. I can put fertilizer down with my planter, so it's one less pass across the field, and that's actually my main reason why I like the 30s better. I don't like liquid fertilizer on my drill. I don't think I'll put it on there ever, unless I would buy an air seeder, and then I'd go to using dry fertilizer on my beans. But right now it's just not an option with what I've got. I think that the 15s are going to combat weeds better. They're going to canopy faster, but in a dry year like we sometimes get into, or a lot of times have, they're going to be shorter generally, and they'll be harder to combine. So I think I combine 30-inch beans, I combine 15-inch beans. The yield in our area about the same. There's not much advantage to either one. I know you get different parts of the country, they have problems with white mold and different funguses in their beans, and so far we're pretty fortunate in our area and don't have them problems, but I know the wider spaced rows help with that. My honest opinion, I'd rather go to 20s on everything, but with me custom planting and whatnot, it'd be pretty hard to buy a 20-inch corn head and continue to do that, because I'd have to keep my 30-inch corn head as well. So that's the answer to that question. Yeah, that hitch repair is folding out. Dave, what do you think it cost me to get my hitch welded up? See you later, 4G. I'll try not to break anything. We're just going to keep on a rolling. But on all new opening disc, when I started the season, I've had 4 bearings go out already. $86.75 or something like that, Dave. Couldn't believe it. About had a heart attack. I thought it was going to be at least a couple hundred, but for being Saturday in a hurry, didn't have any other choice. Everything. The whole bill was $86 and some odd change. I think it was 67 or 65 or something. I should have took my hitch off my drill up there to have them make it. Yes. Exactly, Dave, what you just typed there. I think they treated me pretty good. Should build one like I sent you in that picture, Dave. But you gotta have one of them quick hitch deals. Well, you probably can't see it on my picture phone, but you gotta have one of them. They said that works really good. Actually, it's wet because you can see my tires are wet. But we're not spinning out, so we're going to keep rolling. I don't think you can go wrong with a real semi-trailer, Dave. If that's what you're talking about. You don't have to necessarily get a real long one, but I think gooseneck trailers are made to not put a lot of weight on the pickup, and you can handle a lot more weight on that semi truck than a pickup. So I think you'd be better off having your a trailer with the axles further to the back. Oh, I don't know about that, I guess. Gotta get my phone plugged in, some bitch gonna die. I might be a little confused, Dave. That's all right. Not following, but it's all right. Yeah, about 50% engine power for anyone that cares is pretty common. I ain't gonna get stuck, Jeff. What do you think of that picture I sent you earlier today? That was about a boo-boo move. That was pretty soggy. I'm gonna have to, when I get done planting and whatnot this year, I might have to put together a bloopers reel. Or no shit reel. Turning around. I don't miss my saddle tanks whatsoever either. I wish I had a bigger pull behind tank, so if I had bigger tires on it and had option to put more in it if the ground was fit. I like having my tractor clean so I can unhook the planter and go do other things with it if I need to. I was pretty close. I folded up. Luckily there's an approach right there and I pulled out on the road, out on the highway. No, it wouldn't have been awesome. I would have been upset. In my opinion, is your annual rye or millet better for beef hay than planting brome or orchard grass? The hay question there. The biggest problem with using small grains or hay type crops to hay is you have to plant them every year. And like I do oats or rye and then I come back with cane or millet or something like that. So I'm planting it twice per year. Where some of them other crops you can plant it once per year or only once for 10 or 20 years. But the reason we continue to use the small grains is so we can rotate them fields that we're haying to corn and soybeans to keep up a crop rotation. And that's our reason behind doing that. Long term, I don't know what the correct or the cheapest or most financially smart decision would be. You'd have to run some numbers on it, but running equipment across fields costs a lot of money. Yeah, it's been terribly wet here. We couldn't even start planting till about the 15th, and I planted for a day or two, and we didn't plant for another week. I planted 90% of the corn after our planting deadline, which was the 25th of May. Actually, I planted all of my corn after that. Thompson, you channel dealer or just like channel? That's the channel logo there I see. I plant all channel mostly. I know I can raise better corn after soybeans. I do know that. Haven't done a bunch of hay. I hate taking all the organic matter off haying all the time. Seems like I need a wider lens view so you guys can see the view better. Wider lens camera. Been wanting to get a video made to put up, I just haven't had time. Thought this would be more interesting, I guess. I've had really good luck with channel. I used to plant some Pioneer, and my Pioneer dealer wouldn't come to drop me off seed on Saturday. Told me it'd be Monday afternoon. I haven't bought Pioneer since. I think this planter, I think it's a good planter. The spacing's not the best, but I plant side by side to 1250 case with perfect spacing, and I can raise just as good a corn. Takes more time to probably set it up, get it correct, and I think emergence in corn is a huge thing. I hate how the wheels are forward on it. I absolutely hate it. When you pick up, there's negative tongue weight, so that sinks out of sight. So that's not good. That's a big negative. And when it's muddy out, they get balled up with mud and then they plug up and won't turn anymore. Actually, that tire there, I drove too long with it being plugged up. That tire, I guess. I drove too long with it having mud on it, and it's wore all the tread off of it. Well, hello, Desert Farmer. How you been? Been kind of quiet on your channel lately. Haven't seen you commenting and stuff. I appreciate you stopping by. Have you guys done much hanging out in your country yet? The wing tires are turf tires. The center tires are implement tires. And they both suck for having how they're made, how the frame is made on this planter. They absolutely irritate the crap out of me. I'm gonna start cutting hay as soon as I can. The egg tires aren't treaded. They're just egg rib tires. The outside ones are more like turf tires, like you see at a golf course on a lawnmower. Yeah, there's people starting to cut hay around us, but we're not starting yet. I'm hoping to get started this weekend. What do you mean, why did I switch tractors for the corn planter? Yeah, I don't want to have to buy tires for this. I need to just cut off some stuff and put a new scraper bar on. I am on the west side. I'm over by Winter. South Central, South Dakota. About 45 minutes from Platte. Yeah, this tractor's been on the corn planter all year. I haven't switched it. I don't know what you mean, switch to corn planter. Switch tractors on the corn planter. Last year I planted with my smaller Magnum, but my intentions are to plant with my big tractor and farm with my big tractor and do most of the haying with my smaller tractor. But I'm sure this tractor here is going to get put on the baler once it's done in the field, once we're done farming. But yeah, this tractor's been hooked up on the corn planter since about the first week in May, and it hasn't came unhooked since. No, it was this tractor that was on it. It was just really dirty because I was planting in some really dry, dusty ground, sand. I think if you're in an area where you can double crop, you're going to get more yield off of double cropping than you will a single crop of brome. But you got more cost in that double crop. And as far as quality, I test all of our hay, and the cereals generally are fairly close to what our brome grass would be tested. A lot of the quality issues have, if you leave any crop too long, you need to cut it, you know, as it heads out, not wait till it's already gone to seed and put up sticks. So that's kind of where that's at. Yeah, the hitch broke on when it broke on that planter. It was on this one, and that's why I was so mad, because it about ripped my fender off. I already answered that question, I guess. Oh, we planted 20 acres so far, 18.69 since we started this stream, so about 40 minutes. Gonna almost get 20 acres an hour till I gotta stop for fertilizer, and that kills the time. Yeah, this ground is definitely a little wetter than I like to be planting in, but we're running out of time here, and the ground's very warm now. We've had 90 and 100 degree days here, so the ground's very warm. I think we're gonna be okay. Long time away to tell how the pheasants are gonna be. They got a lot of summer left. You tell me how much rain, how many storms, and how the hatch will be, and then I'll tell you. But right now I just can't until later in the year. On corn I got just like 150 corn, and I've got probably 500 acres of soybeans left. And I have no idea how many acres of cane, but probably close to 500 acres of cane. They tell me it quit planting, it failed. I raised it up. And it's not smart enough to know, it's not new enough to know that I raised it up. It's not hooked up to the tractor that it knows that I lifted it up, which is unfortunate. Someday I'll have a newer corn planter, but this one for $12,000 does the job just fine. Okay, back to reading the comments. Well, that'll be pretty cool to see oats and peas. I've always wanted to do oats and peas, but I have never done it. I just the cost of the peas just pushed me away, I guess. I can plant oats for $9 an acre, and then my time and fertilizer, I just don't know about the oats. Yeah, I have a lot of days of planting left. I had a good friend of mine, a neighbor in his mid-60s, found out he had cancer over Christmas time, so I kind of took on his stuff. He's not feeling up to farming right now, so he's down trying to get treatment and getting better, so we took on a lot more ground and responsibilities this year, but that's how I am. I try to help people out when they need help. Some other people's got to have some questions on here. Had some decent questions tonight. I'm enjoying it. 40 some minutes. It don't seem like I've been on here that long. I wish we could turn the radio on. That'd be pretty awesome, but then YouTube land gets all upset. I got a front wheel seal leaking right now. I've got my exhaust pipe, the aspirator is bad in it, and was blowing exhaust into my air filter. I've shattered my door. The front steering cylinder pins were wore out, that it wouldn't drive down the road at 26 miles an hour and stay on it. You'd end up in the ditch. The fuel gauge quit working, and now all of a sudden it started to work again, so I don't know what's up with that. And my auto steer, if you look, it weaves back and forth more than it should. But I guess it's good enough to get done planting. I'm running WAS. Hey, Alvin. As far as how many satellites, I'm not even sure, and I don't even know how to find it on this new screen, so I haven't messed with that much yet. It's kind of I have no idea. probably over 1,000 acres I cut every year. I actually got a job I'm going to try to do next week that's over 500, so we get second cutting on all the alfalfa that we put up, which we only have 60 acres of alfalfa right now, but I planted a new field, so we should get 3 cuttings on that. In other words, I cut oats and then I hay the oats and I plant millet or cane on it and I plant that, but I don't get any multiple cuts on anything but alfalfa as of now. I'd like to try some other grass crops that I wouldn't have to replant, you know, an early spring crop, and then be able to hay it 2 or 3 times throughout the summer. But I haven't figured out one that I think will work yet. Good for me. I haven't kept track. I do a lot of custom work, but I haven't actually put the pen to it to see how many acres I cut last year. I was over 2,000 or 2,500 bales worth. Plan on doing as many as I can. I hope to have, you know, 1,000, 1,500 for myself and my dad, and whatever custom work comes along. I'm going to show you a 5 Gen. Are you familiar with the Pro 700 screen at all? I'm going to get into the settings of that and show you how it's set. And it's set, they say it shouldn't even drive it all the way it's set up, but if you set it how they want you to set it, I can't set in the tractor. It makes me sick. I've had New Holland baler since I've started custom haying in 2007. That's why I have New Holland, and the reason I bought a New Holland to start was the price. I couldn't afford to buy a John Deere, and to this day I think John Deere is still cheaper. I'm going to show you, no, this one, toolbox. I just got to remember, I got my aggressiveness all the way down. It's as slow as it will go. And then I had to go into the calibration, and I had to increase my D gain all the way to 300. If I take that off, it'll weave back and forth 3-4 foot. And right now it plants straight, it just weaves back and forth more. I think that's why the front end was wore out when I got this tractor. I think this auto steer was overcorrecting itself all the time. Were you able to see that? We run cow-calf, and I don't go into how many head we run. I have around 50 head myself, but I'm not going to share what my dad and my brother have. It's not my place to be sharing that information. If you look back at the videos, I think most people with much knowledge, I think they'll be able to figure out kind of what we got going on there. Oh yeah, the old tractor's keeping that GPS. I'm gonna cut hay with it. I might even rake with GPS. I might even bale with it. It's hard to say. Yeah, I'm running the current. They updated it right when I got it. I don't remember how to find the software number, but yeah, I don't remember how to find that, but they said it was the latest one. I heard there's actually been, I've done some research on forums, and there's been a lot of 335 with it's got a suspended front axle on it that has had this problem in it, and they actually have to put it on a new steering valve. The steering valve's too small. Yeah, the old tractor's running soybeans right now with the drill. Yeah, I canceled my XM. I went to Pandora. You know, I had XM in my tractor and my pickup, my wife's car, semi truck, a couple other outfits we had it in, and it just costs too much. I can actually pick out better radio stations on my Pandora. There's a few commercials here and there, but you know it's not that bad. Did you ever get your 305 fixed, or did you give it up and get rid of it? I have a dealer. I'll have a dealer probably 45 miles away, a different dealer that said they can fix it, but it might cost $5 grand. I don't have $5 grand to be fixing it right now when it's working like it is. Yeah, it's a pretty good office. I got a nice leather chair, heated seat when I need it. You know, plenty of leg room. I got the tire pressure, I think, down to like 10 pounds or 12. And I've got the large weight bracket on with either 18 or 20 120 pound weights. The front end of this tractor weighs 18,000 pounds. Well, see you. Nice talking to you. I got some friends that live up by Brookings, so I'm kind of familiar with the area. But yeah, we'll talk to you later. Thompson. Does that sound familiar with 5th gen? Does that sound kind of how yours was set up, or how was yours set up when you got done? About 150 of corn, 500 beans, 400 or 500 of beans. And I have no idea how much cane for sure. Probably 500 acres of cane, give or take. 500 acres. You know, a lot of how much I got left and what crops get planted are how much moisture we get in the next week. If we stay dry, we're gonna probably continue to keep planting corn and soybeans and things. But there's people that are already quit planting corn and went to planting cane and stuff, and then I kind of lose the work because they've got their own drills. So I normally plant 1,500 acres of corn, and I'm not gonna hit 1,500 acres of corn this year, but oh well. I'm glad to be making progress. I can't read comments when I'm turning around, so I'll catch up with you guys when I get turn around and everything's set back on the ground. Yeah, so you said I got dual 480 or 18.4 38s, I think. Then I'm running 50-inch tires on the back, and then I've got a full weight bracket on the front with the big weight bracket. I plant all the way from 97 day, or a little shorter sometimes, all the way up to 111 day corn. The stuff I'm planting right now is 102 day. Yeah, I actually talked to the guys who own this before me. That's what they went to, was a 380 road track. Said it's amazing how much them tracks pull. Would you agree with that? You run duals on the front of your road track, or just on the back, or just run singles? Yeah, I had a chance. I maybe could have got some of this corn planted a little sooner, but I would have replanted it all. I done that one year actually. The first year I sharecropped this ground, I actually had to replant about half of it. That was a good time. Nothing like doing it twice. And I replanted it the 10th, 12th, and 13th of June. Yeah, how's the ride with them spaced clear out there? I'd imagine the ride's pretty good. 24-inch belts. Yeah. I heard the narrower ones have problems. I don't know if that's considered the narrow chassis or not on them, but what's the road speed, I think, is what would get me. The dealer told me they wouldn't sell me one because I drive down the road too much. I do too much road and I wear out the tracks and the idlers. I think I'm going to quit this stream here in about 5 minutes, about an hour long here. So if anyone's got any other questions, go ahead and ask them. I need to get out and stretch my legs and check things over quick. I don't like planting too long without kind of giving everything a once over. And live streaming, I might, it's a little hard to do everything. Are you running the wider bogeys then on the 24-inch? I'm on my 10th pass here. I should have looked to see how many passes there was on this side of the field, but that should be about half done, so there must be about 20 of them. Yeah, thanks, PA Farms. We're hopefully gonna yeah, that's what I've heard, that they get hot. I've only rode in a track tractor one time and I was not impressed. That was an older John Deere 2-track. And that thing rode like a Sherman frippin' tank, and it was terrible on the road. But it's an older track machine and it had no suspension or nothing, and I think they've improved them greatly since then. And there's my planter monitor telling me that I'm running low on seed. That's hopper. So once I get to the other end, I'm going to have to stop and put seed in. Had my tripod set up. We just put the tripod out, and you guys watch me load seed, but 25,000, 24 and a half, 25,000. When I started planting, and I started planting probably around 2007, I started doing most of our planting. We were planting 20,000, and we've been slowly going up, and it's something that Dad don't necessarily like, but I think he's seen the yield improvements on the things that we've changed. We've gone all no-till since I've started farming it, and our yields have we're stayed flat for a few years, but the last several years they've been just climbing new numbers now. So it's population, better fertilizer program, and better management of what seeds we're planting, keeping track of what works on our farm and what doesn't. Yeah, I heard them tracks are just awesome. No, I can't unless I add it on, Dave. It's a fixed rate planter, and I don't think I'll add it on if I want variable rate down the road, which I think would be nice. I'll go with a newer planter that already has it on. Right now, my hold off on getting a bigger, heavier planter is I'd like a 1250, and they're so heavy. My little old tractor, and they use so much hydraulic oil, my old tractor, I think I'd have a hard time controlling it and handling it, so I'd have to make sure before I do that, I don't want to be locked down to one tractor to pull my equipment. I want to be able to pull it with everything, which is why I do what I do. You know, if I wish my other tractor was close by. These lights are fine on this tractor. It's got a HID light in the hood. That makes a big difference. And then it's got two HID lights on the fenders, one on each fender. But my older Magnum that I put all LED lights in has brighter lights than this tractor does here. And I know that sounds a little iffy and whatnot, but I got out of this tractor and got in my other tractor, and I couldn't believe how bright, like, my side lights were. Around the planter itself and stuff is fine, but my side lights and out front, you know, the whole 360-degree view was a lot brighter on my older Magnum. I'm gonna do a drone video someday of that when I have nothing better to do. This is a 16 row. There's no way. The guy used to farm this with a 24 row, and he was stuck all the time. It was a drought and they got stuck with a 24 row, so I'll be sticking with a 16. Yeah, it's doable. As far as that pivot tongue stuff goes, it's doable, but if I, you know, it's just questionable, and I'd rather not work the shit out of my tractor if something happened. But I could do it. I'd just rather not push the tractor that hard right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do I'll do a night drone of the lights on the tractor someday. On this, I'm gonna have this tractor, my old Magnum, and then my dad's Magnum was the standard lights, and we're gonna do a comparison video on all of them. I just haven't had time to do it. I've had this tractor since January, the end of January. Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's, you know, them older Magnums like that 89, unless you've got a lot of weight on them, like my old tractor, it only weighs 22,000 with my saddle tanks on. This tractor weighs 32,000, so this tractor's 10,000 pounds heavier without the saddle tanks. The traction makes a huge difference. That's what I've heard, and that's actually most of my problem with my my 7220 was the traction and hydraulics. I actually took the PTO pump off this planter, and I'm running the fans and stuff off of my tractor hydraulics, but I kept everything in case I need to change back. Yeah, that snowstorm is what I think why our ground's the way it is. It's had a hard time warming up. It's been wet. I ate all my sandwiches. I ate 3 sandwiches today. I don't eat bologna though. I eat ham sandwiches, cheese and ham and cheese. I actually had to go get more seed right before dark, and right before I started this live stream or whatever, I went home and I picked up some food. And my wife had some leftovers we warmed up, and I ate them. Hung out with the kids for a little bit. Forgot that I gotta get seed. There's the lightning up there. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I haven't had any YouTubers visit. Now this tractor's got a 60 gallon per minute pump, hydraulic pump on it, so it works pretty good. But anyhow, guys, I've got to get rolling. I got to find where they parked my pickup, find where they parked my fertilizer tank, and I got to get fertilizer and seed. So I'm gonna let you guys roll. Thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate all your comments. Thanks a lot.